Good morning. This is George Kachuk with RCM Wealth Advisors reporting to you from the CME Group trading floor in Chicago. Here we are halfway through December, and let's talk about what's going on in the equity markets. Pretty big rally this morning on the Dow. It's up about 150 points. NASDAQ's up about 30 to 40 points, and the S&P's up about 10, 11 points, so forth. One of the things I want to talk about is as we're going into the end of the year, the market is starting to send us some pretty mixed signals. The market is pretty much in an uptrend, but now that uptrend has come under some pressure. So I'm going to talk about some of the negative things we're seeing in the market, and of course some of the positive things. Okay, some of the negative things is the breadth has slightly deteriorated, meaning a few weeks back we had more highs than new lows, and just the opposite's happening now. We're seeing more lows than new highs. Also, we're seeing less and less stocks above their 200-day moving average. Kind of dropped to about 59%, but actually as long as we stay above 50%, we may still be in pretty good shape there. But that's another thing to look at. Now also, sentiment surveys. Talked about this a little bit in the past. Contrarian indicators, but what we're seeing is from Investors Intelligence is we basically have bulls at about 58%, which is a really, really high level, and bears are down at about 14%, really, really low level. And the whole idea here is if everyone's all in, very happy, who's going to be left to buy? So possibly signals sometimes like that come near market tops. To be seen though, secondary indicator. And of course, lastly, and perhaps most important, is that we do have a lot of distribution days on the NASDAQ. We have about 5 of those over the last 2 weeks. Now, distribution days, you recall, are days where we see heavier selling on the index than the day before, heavier volume. And when you get a lot of days building up like that, that also happens right before market downturns. However, keep in mind this year we've seen a lot of these situations where we've got to build up distribution days. The market looked like it was going to turn over and then it bounced up. But of course, all these things, you have to, the most important thing is look at how your positions are doing, how your individual equity. If you're making money, stay in them. If you're losing money, maybe you should consider getting out of them. Very simple thing. Okay, so let's talk about some of the positive things. Well, some of the positive things are the fact that a lot of good quality stocks have actually slightly corrected, and now they're coming out of bases again, moving on upward. And when you see good stocks like this doing this, that's a very good sign. Also, if we look at the subsectors on the S&P 500, we haven't seen a breakdown, meaning financials are doing very well, staying above support level, consumer discretionary, the industrials, healthcare stocks, technology stocks. So of course, not until we see a breakdown of these do you want to really be concerned. So as always, so the question is, so how do I play this if you keep getting these mixed signals? Again, the most important thing is price and volume in your individual stocks. See how those are acting. Then look at the indices. That's the second most important thing. Are we seeing a lot of heavier selling days building up? That may also be a clue. Things like the sentiment survey and breadth, those are actually a little bit of secondary indicators, but you need to be aware of them and let them be in the back of your mind. Now this week we have the Fed meeting come out. They're going to make an announcement on Wednesday, a much anticipated taper talk and so forth. Markets probably pretty much priced some of this in, and if we do see a sell-off that may present a buying opportunity, we don't know, you need to see the bounce. So as always, let price and volume be your guide. This is George Kachuk with RCM Wealth Advisors reporting to you from the CME Group trading floor in Chicago. Have a great week.